dzaya dzichatongwa nehonye.
To them and pull them down to the ground.
I do not see myself as an anti-government preacher. It's a misconception of my assignment, and it's a needless attempt to attack a preacher of the gospel. The only difference that I have with other preachers is that I do not support ZANU-PF. I've never said I support ZANU-PF. The only tools that I have are the Bible and the microphone. And because of those tools, the president of our nation and his cronies, they can't find sleep until they take me out. Apostles' life matters. Apostles' Chiwenga's life matters. Zimbabweans' lives matters. Government of Zimbabwe, do not kill Apostle T.F. Chiwenga. That is our petition, and that was, and that is, and that shall be our appeal to the government. This is the second episode of the month-long campaign which we are doing as a ministry, as the church, Jesus Revelation Ministries. We have instituted and we are doing a campaign which started on the 1st of April and it shall end on the 1st of May 2020. So we are going to be campaigning, we are going to be advocating, we are going to be appealing, we are going to be petitioning the government of Zimbabwe, which is led by His Excellency President Emerson Mnangagwa. He is the head of the state and is head of government. And we are also petitioning Vice President Constantino Kuvea Chiwenga, who is the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. We are petitioning President Mnangagwa because he is the man in charge of the military, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, the Military Intelligence Department, MID, that falls under the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. He is also the man who is in charge of the state security and the intelligence, the Central Intelligence Organization, and the law enforcement, the Zimbabwe Republic Police. So we are going to be doing the half-hour advocacy. The half-hour advocacy. So we are going to be advocating, we are going to be campaigning, we are going to be petitioning and appealing to the government of Zimbabwe, led by President Mnangagwa, that he should focus the resources of the nation of Zimbabwe to building our country. He should focus the energy that the government has to building the roads which have been declared as a state of emergency. The hospitals are in a state of dilapidation. There is no medical equipment, sufficient medical equipment. Our frontline medical workers are at risk of the COVID. Up to this date, they do not have sufficient PPE, sufficient medical facilities. They are not well remunerated, our civil servants, our teachers. May President Mnangagwa and his government focus on building the country of Zimbabwe. I said yesterday when we launched this campaign that on the 26th of August 2018, the President took an oath, and when he made that oath, he said he was going to obey, he was going to uphold, he was going to defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe and all other laws. And when he made that oath, he took the Holy Bible and he said, "So help me God." And in this petition month, or this advocacy month, we are reminding the President of Zimbabwe to do exactly what he promised to do when he took the oath of office. May God help you, Mr. President, say that you may defend, obey, and uphold the Constitution. Among other things, Section 48 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe stipulates that every Zimbabwean has a right to life. I do have a right to life, Mr. President, and you took an oath of office to protect, to obey, to defend the Constitution. You are duty-bound, President Mnangagwa. You are duty-bound, Vice President Chiwenga, to protect my life. It is wrong. It is contrary to what you promised. It is contrary to the oath that you took for you to send notorious team and notorious security squads to chasing after me, stalking me, harassing me, and on several occasions attempting to take my life. On the 12th of June, I was involved in an accident, and I did show you the images of what happened. When that accident happened, I was driving along Mashingo Road, and I was driving my vehicle with the 3 people that I had with me in that car, who were my wife, Joyce Chiwenga, my sister, Rosemary Vurumuku, and my brother in the Lord, Eugene Kanyuchi. And it is in that accident that I lost these people. These 3 people perished in that accident. That was not a natural accident. That was just not an ordinary road traffic accident. Those 3 people you saw there are no longer alive. I no longer have them because of these assassination attempts. They were trying to kill me. They put a haulage truck that disturbed me and forced me out of the road. And that truck disturbed me. It encroached into my lane, and I veered out of the road trying to not go into a head-on collision. And as you can see in that picture there, the car that I was driving, it overturned, and it resulted in the death of my wife, Joyce Chiwenga. She passed away in that same accident. And I also lost my sister in the Lord, Rosemary Vurumuku, and I lost my brother in the Lord. That is the grave there. Those are the graves where my beloved brethren remains were buried. They were very dear to me. They died simply because they were in my company. The government of Zimbabwe was looking for an opportunity to take my life. I didn't die because God preserved my life. We are still grieving the loss of these 3 of my brethren. And as if that was not enough, the following year, last year, 2020, on the 14th of July, they also sent their death squads, their assassins, state-trained assassins, state-trained murderers, state-trained terrorists, who came again with the same modus operandi, coming into my lane to try and force me out of the road. But when we had this second accident, I didn't veer off the road. I decided, let me go for a head-on collision and secure the identity of the assassin. And that was, as you are going to see in that picture there, a head-on collision happened again the second time along Bulawayo Road, and I was involved in that accident. And this time we didn't die, we didn't lose anyone among us as far as those people I had in that vehicle were concerned. Mr. Sam Mazingira, who was a state-trained and state-sponsored terrorist, a state-sponsored murderer, who was driving that white sedan vehicle you are seeing there on that picture, and the two others that he had in that car, including his wife, they died. The government was seeking to kill me, and when we did not do as they expected, they lost not only their assassin, but other people who were in that vehicle, which I suspect they were not aware that Mr. Sam Mazingira was not just driving to town, he was on a mission to kill a preacher of the gospel. So we are calling upon the government of Zimbabwe, we are petitioning the government of Zimbabwe, we are petitioning every soldier who is earning a salary from the taxes that we, the citizens of Zimbabwe, pay, every police officer who is raising children, sending them to school, using money that is received by government as revenue, but collected from the citizens of Zimbabwe. We are appealing and petitioning every intelligence operative in Zimbabwe on the payroll of the government of Zimbabwe. When you were recruited into police work, military work, and state security work, I can assure you that you were never told that part of your job description was killing the citizens of Zimbabwe. If you are a soldier, you took an oath to protect the people of Zimbabwe. We are the people who are paying you. Your salaries are received by you, but we are the people who are paying for your salaries. We pay value-added tax, we pay as you earn, we pay excise duties and import duties, and it is from those taxes that you are earning your salaries. Why are you turning against us, the very people from where your bread is buttered? Why are you taking orders from a rogue government to try and kill a preacher of the gospel? We are appealing and petitioning the government of Zimbabwe not to take the life of Apostle Chiwenga. I am a Zimbabwean. I have a right to life. I have a constitutional right to life. Article 1, Article 3, Article 5, and Article 9 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, they stipulate that everyone has a right to life, everyone has an inherent right to dignity, everyone has a right to privacy, everyone has a right to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and freedom of opinions, freedom of beliefs, freedom of faith. We have a right to demonstrate, we have a right to protest when the government does something that doesn't go well with us, when we are aggrieved, when we are oppressed, when we feel that we are being abused by the government. We, the people of Zimbabwe, have a right to talk. We are calling upon every Zimbabwean citizen, whether here at home or abroad, overseas or in other neighboring countries here in Africa. We are inviting every Zimbabwean, every blogger, every YouTuber, every live streamer, every vlogger, every podcaster. We are inviting you, every journalist, every TikToker. We are inviting you to join us. We are not seeking an agenda or a cause that is limited and exclusive to Jesus Revelation Ministries as a church alone or to Apostle Chiwenga as an individual. Our lives are at stake. Zimbabweans' lives are at stake. My life is in danger, and so is every Zimbabwean's life. If I am in danger, you are also in danger. Opo Chimono's life is in danger. Itai Dzamara's life was endangered. Our journalists' lives are in danger. Our opposition activists are in danger. Their lives are in danger. We call upon every peace-loving Zimbabwean, every bona fide Zimbabwean. We are calling upon every progressive thinking and progressive-minded Zimbabwean to join us in this month of petitioning and campaigning and advocating for the safety, the preservation, and the guarantee to life by the government of Zimbabwe. We are also inviting our friends from other countries in Africa and abroad. Every human being has a right to cry loud and as loud as possible when another person's life is endangered. We have to come together as one man, as one person, as one people. When George Floyd, the African-American man, was murdered in broad daylight by a law enforcement agent in the United States of America, the whole world stood together in solidarity and we came out with one voice: Black Lives Matter. So I am here to pursue the same agenda. Black Lives Matter. Zimbabweans' lives matter. Itai Dzamara's life matters. Opo Chimono's life matters. Joanna Mamombe's life matters. And Talent Farai Chiwenga's life matters. This is the advocacy we are doing. I am appealing to members of the international community. I am appealing to Her Excellency Brondimos, the Australian ambassador to Zimbabwe. We appeal to you, Your Excellency Ambassador Brondimos, to join us in putting pressure to the government of Zimbabwe. We are appealing and we are inviting you to speak with one voice and join the Zimbabwean people, the ordinary, peace-loving Zimbabwean people, to broadcast this message and to speak and confront the government of Zimbabwe, to confront President Mnangagwa and Vice President Chiwenga that he should guarantee the safety and the sanctity of Apostle Chiwenga's life. The President of Zimbabwe, Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa, should guarantee Apostle Chiwenga's safety, whether he is at home or he is outside the country, whether he is driving alone or he is driving in the company of other Zimbabweans, whether he is in the public or is in the privacy of his home. We are also calling upon Excellency Melaine Robinson, the British ambassador responsible for countries like Zimbabwe and Zambia and other countries. We call upon you, Your Majesty, would you please join the people of Zimbabwe to advocate for the safety of the preacher of the gospel, Apostle Talent Farai Chiwenga, whose life has been endangered several times. The government of Zimbabwe is chasing after Apostle Chiwenga, trying to fix Apostle Chiwenga instead of fixing the Zimbabwean economy, which they have run down relentlessly and shamelessly since they took office some few years ago. We are calling upon Her Excellency Christina Buchan, the ambassador, the Canadian ambassador to Zimbabwe. We are calling upon you, Madam, that you join Apostle Chiwenga, you join Jesus Revelation Ministries, you join the church bodies, we will join the Zimbabwean people to advocate and to campaign and to put pressure on Mr. Mnangagwa's government and his subordinates that they should desist from being a trigger-happy government, a government that enjoys to instill pain and to cause pain to the very people that they are supposed to be answering to. We are calling upon His Excellency Udo Vos, the German ambassador to Zimbabwe. We are asking you, we are pleading with you that you speak together as the members of the diplomatic community, as members of the international community, to pressurize the Zimbabwean government that they should not continue to pursue the life of a preacher of the gospel. We are calling upon the U.S. Ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Brian Andrew Nichols. We are calling upon you, Your Excellency, we are calling upon you, say that you join us at this particular time to speak with one voice, to confront the government of Zimbabwe and ask them, since they are a member state to the United Nations, that they respect the rule of law, that they respect the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and protect the people of the Zimbabwe, and protect the lives of everyone. The government cannot survive on feasting and preying on innocent, vulnerable citizens who do not have guns to shoot back when soldiers are tasked to shoot at them. Zimbabwean citizens do not have tanks and cannons and tear gas canisters to throw at the police and the military when they are unleashed ruthlessly, illegally, and relentlessly on a spree like what is happening in Zimbabwe. Ever since Mr. Mnangagwa launched what he called the Second Republic, to us the Second Republic is not a Second Republic of peace, it is a Second Republic of terror. It is a Second Republic of genocide. It is a Second Republic of astronomical levels of corruption, abuse of power. It is a Second Republic of tyranny. It is a Second Republic of barbaric acts of cruelty against innocent and peace-loving citizens. Mr. Mnangagwa's Second Republic is characterized with dilapidation of social service institutions like medical institutions, hospitals, and schools. We are calling upon the UN Secretary General, His Excellency Antonio Guterres. We are asking you, say, that you join Apostle Chiwenga, you join Jesus Revelation Ministries, you join the people of Zimbabwe in advocating for the safety of the apostle, the safety of the preacher, the safety of every Zimbabwean, the safety of every journalist, the safety of every opposition member. We are calling upon Michelle Bachelet, the United Nations Human Rights Chief. We are calling upon you, Madam, you advocate, you stand for enforcement and protection and preservation of the human rights in all over the world. This is your time to speak out. We do not want to continue to have a situation in which we only hear voices like what happened last week when hundreds of people are murdered in places like Myanmar. That's when we start to hear people speaking out and condemning acts of barbarism. We are calling upon you to speak at the right time, before more lives are lost, before people's lives are taken by a renegade and a rogue group of political elites who want to hold on to power even at the expense of human life. The office of the president is not too important that people should die in order for one to take hold of it, to take it unto himself, and to stay in that office while it's butchering people like a madman. Mr. Mnangagwa, you are supposed to be a father to Zimbabwe. You are not supposed to be a butcher of Zimbabwe. As I look at you today on that picture, I see a picture of a butcherman. I see a picture of a terrorist. I see a picture of a murderer. We are appealing to God to touch your heart, that you may change your approach, and that you can be a father to Zimbabwe. In your eyes, you must see my life as important, as equally important as your own life. There are no people who are more inferior to others. Human beings are human beings. We have a bona fide, inherent right to life. May that right be protected during the day and even in the night. May that right be protected whether during election time and post-election time. So this is the Advocacy Half Hour. We hope that you are going to join us. Continue to write, make as much noise as possible. write on your platform, write on your account, write on your Facebook account, write on your YouTube account, write on your Instagram account, hashtag Apostle Chiwenga's Life Matters, hashtag Do Not Kill Apostle Chiwenga, hashtag Government of Zimbabwe, Spare the Life of Apostle Chiwenga, hashtag Zimbabweans Lives Matters. And if you want to send us details of your video so that we can share them in our platform, we want you to send a message on the email address that is appearing on the screen, and send a video, send a voice note, send a typed message, and we are going to do programs in which we are going to broadcast those messages. Let us make as much noise as possible. That one is the WhatsApp number, and that one also is the email address, advocacymonth@gmail.com. Send your email, send your link, so that we can also join together. If you know other platforms where we can make this petition known, send us those links, send us those accounts, send us those details. We want to make a petition, we want to make an appeal, we want to make an advocacy work, a demonstration online, asking and appealing and petitioning President Emmerson Mnangagwa, his Deputy President, Vice President Constantine Chiwenga, and other state institutions and their leaders. We are not taking them to war, we are not fighting with them. We are pleading with you, President Mnangagwa. You took an oath to protect my life. You took an oath to protect my freedom of expression and freedom of opinion. You took an oath, President Mnangagwa, to protect my right to privacy, to protect my right to personal privacy. You have to obey the Constitution of Zimbabwe. The moment the Constitution of Zimbabwe becomes tissue paper to you, you cease to be a president of Zimbabwe. From that moment onwards, another person should take that office. You are only a president, a legitimate president, if you are observing, obeying, upholding, and defending the Constitution of Zimbabwe. President Mnangagwa's life matters, and so does Apostle T.F. Chiwenga's life. I may not have presidential guard soldiers manning my house, standing as sentries at the entrance gate of my house, but that doesn't mean that my life should not matter in Zimbabwe. We are asking you peacefully to preserve and to commit yourself to restrain your military, your central intelligence operatives and members of the law enforcement, that they should not be agents of doom, agents of evil, agents of darkness, agents of terror, agents of murder upon the people of Zimbabwe who are their paymasters. Your salary, Mr. President, it is earned because I pay my taxes, and technically speaking, you are an employee of the people of Zimbabwe. I am not your subject, you are my servant. I have to receive a service commensurate with the life that I live and the contribution I make to the development of my country. I am not a criminal in this country. I am a law-abiding citizen. I have never been convicted of any crime since I was born. Protect my life. When you send your children to school, when you are driving in the motorcade, you should never forget that the money that you are using to execute your duties, it is coming from the peace-loving, hard-working Zimbabwean citizens, of which I am a part. May you commit yourself to protect your paymaster. May you commit yourself to value the lives of Zimbabwean citizens. Again, as I conclude this half hour of advocacy, I want to call members of the diplomatic community, the Australian ambassador, Her Excellency Bront Mose. I invite you to join me in this advocacy. Please speak with us, join us in this advocacy. The British ambassador to Zimbabwe, Excellency Melaine Robinson, the Canadian ambassador, Her Excellency Christina Buchan, His Excellency, the German Ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Udo Vos, His Excellency, the U.S. Ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Brian Andrew Nichols. And also we are calling upon the United Nations Human Rights Chief, Her Excellency Michelle Bachelet, and we are also appealing to the United Nations Secretary General, His Excellency Antonio Guterres, to join us as we speak with one voice, peacefully and with love, to the President of Zimbabwe, Mr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, that he should ensure that the life of Apostle Chiwenga should be preserved. He doesn't deserve to die. We are appealing to you, members of the diplomatic community, to use whatever means necessary, whatever resources available to you, to pressure the Zimbabwean government led by His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa to preserve the apostle's life. My life has been in danger. My life has been targeted. We have showed you the proof, even in the first episode. We have showed you the evidence of President Mnangagwa's government's attempts to kill me, to take my life. I am a Zimbabwean. I shall not run away to seek asylum in one of your countries. Zimbabwe is my home. May you protect us so that we may be safe at home. We do not want to apply for visas. We do not want to become refugees in your country. We have the capacity to build our country on our own if only our country was peaceful, if only our country was not a danger to our lives, if only our country was not threatening us. We need to be alive in order for us to build our country. Help us to protect our lives so that we can build our country. We have come to the end of our advocacy, but before I go, I want to ask Pastor Revic to just speak in solidarity with the message that we have in this advocacy.
Yes, our appeal still stands to the President and the Vice President of Zimbabwe that we want Apostle Talent Chiwenga's life saved. It matters. Maybe we need to share this, maybe to appeal to you and tell you why we want his life saved. The preaching of the gospel is the only tool that can help Zimbabwe to come back from its sleeping in terms of the economy, to revive the economy of Zimbabwe. My appeal to you is based on the fact that when the word is preached, when people are born again, when people repent, I want to assure you, the President, that you won't have sleepless nights over these corruption activities, over these theft, over these moral decadence in our country. If the word is preached and if people repent and if people live according to God's conditions, if they live godly lives, everything is going to change. So he is the greatest tool to the changing of lives of all Zimbabweans. This is what we are saying. This is why we are saying. This is why we are appealing. This is why we are pleading with you to save Apostle Talent Chiwenga's life. His life matters. His life matters. Apostle Talent Chiwenga's life matters. Every Zimbabwean's life matters. Thank you, Zimbabweans, for joining us in this advocacy throughout this month. We thank the members of the diplomatic corps again. We thank you for being with us. We thank you for extending your solidarity in helping us putting across this message. We are saying we are not fighting, we are appealing to you. Thank you.
Okay, I want us to read Proverbs chapter 29, verse number 10, it says, "The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul." The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. If there is anyone who hates me, those are the bloodthirsty people we have in our country. But if you are a just person, you actually are going to seek to hear what God has given me, the wise counsel of God, which I preach on a daily basis. Again, in Proverbs 28, verse 17, the Bible says, "A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person shall flee to the pit, let no man stay him." A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person shall flee to the pit, let no man stay him. It is a warning. If you are always seeking after the blood of other people, you shall always be running your whole life. And the scripture says, let nobody stop him. May anybody who is bloodthirsty and blood-filled continue to run. May they continue to flee until they fall into the grave. Vese vanotsvaga kuuraya dai vakaramba vachingotandaniswa kusvikira vawira mubwiro. Vese vanotsvaga kudeura ropa reani kana ane zvake. The scripture is clear. The blood of any person, there is no exceptions. We thank you, brethren. To the believers, we are coming up again shortly to do our moment of laughter. But we are coming out because we just want to know, we want you to know that the advocacy half hour is going to be a standalone activity, and we are going to do it every time we convene to do our usual services. So we are going to come back very soon. Stick around.